Hello, and welcome to Tech Talks with Madonna, Season 2, Episode 8. Our guest today is Rose-Gaelle Bellinger, or RG. Her fascination with technology started at an early age. Her family home is in Yaoundé, the capital of Cameroon. In high school, she focused on mathematics and physics. She earned her bachelor's and master's degrees in software engineering. Joined by Rose-Gaelle Bellinger, and it's such an honor to have you here. And a little bit history, we did the Grow with Google Scholarship together back in 2018, and that's how I met you, which is super cool and awesome. And I am excited to hear more about you. Please tell us about you.
Thank you. Actually, that's true. It was to the nano degree Android program that we met. I actually forgot about that. I'm originally from Yaoundé, the French-speaking side of Cameroon. I moved to the US to pursue my studies with the intention of going back at the time, but then there'd been a lot of life changes, so I ended up continuing my graduate studies and also working after a few internships here in the US. It that's pretty much me. In a nutshell, you can summarize me as a geek who's passionate about technology, the arts, and making this world a better place.
I love that. That's the best way you can sum up your own bio. That is so cool. Now, I just noticed you got promoted too. Congratulations to vice
Thank you.
president. That is so cool. Please, do you want to tell us how that has been? Because I know it's not easy to get there,
Mhm.
but it definitely happens within time. So please tell us how was that? How was that?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I should add by first saying the way the promotion process works, it's very different where I work than at a lot of companies. There is a promotion committee that's going to evaluate each candidate. At some other companies, people can self-nominate themselves. They can put together a package, talk about everything they've achieved, and submit it. But for us, it's different. It's usually our management team that identifies people who have stepped up. So the promotion where I work is not that you're getting a new role. It's actually that you're getting recognized for your past contributions, your leadership, your subject matter expertise. So it's typically an after the fact type of recognition, and it's been quite exciting. It's been a long journey, and then in the although the promotion title is official, toward the years I've actually been
Mhm.
holding roles that have helped me acquire the necessary skill set and also
Mhm.
make the contribution that led to that point. So it's nice to have the official recognition, but at the same time, I would like to point out what I worked on before was
Yeah.
definitely at that level. It wasn't that you got promoted, now you get new task. Now we already work at that level before we get officially recognized.
Amazing. And something actually that makes me even feel become so proud of you is what you've accomplished so far. I am also, I think we went to the same school, Auburn, Samuel Jane College
Yeah,
of Engineering.
yeah,
And
there you go.
I know, well, you go. And I wanted to ask you, you are in the Business Advisory Council, right? And you kind of like help shape some of the things that the computer science in Auburn kind of like does. Can you explain that? Because I feel like I don't even know how much you do, but yeah, it is so cool. I
That's
actually saw
true.
a picture of you with a prize. What was that about? Please tell us more.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a great question. That's a recent event. Those are actually two separate things. I will talk about the Business Advisory Council, then I'll talk about the award you just mentioned. The Most departments and most schools have a business advisory council or board. It could have a different name, and it tends to be people in academia and industry who help guide the department. For example, at Auburn University, we have an engineering council for the engineering department. So there's also the board for the overall university. But then within engineering, each college also has a business advisory council. In this case, I'm in the computer science and software engineering, as well as wireless engineering, the software portion of wireless engineering. We provide guidance and assistance to the university any way they can. We are most of us, if not all of us, are alum, and our support goes three ways. Firstly, we see if we can assist the university financially by for example, putting together an endowment, because some students might not be able to pursue their studies because of financial reasons. So either the council itself will create a scholarship,
Mm-hmm.
or we will work with the school on how to work with how to motivate other alum to create an endowment. They could create an endowment on their own. It could be a group effort. So there's that aspect. The second way we assist the university is through mentorship and sponsorship. A good example would be senior design. We could
Yeah.
be judges,
Mm-hmm.
or for the senior design project, sometimes the university needs companies to sponsor, not financially, but like they need a project the students can work on. So for the alum who are near the school, who are there locally, they can approach the university and say, here's a project we would like the students to solve, and then we will be coaches so that they can get that hands-on experience. We can also be peer mentors. If there's a competition such as a hackathon, we could be judges, or we can get our company to contribute financially. Another way we assist is with the recruiting efforts. So a lot of students do internships or co-ops while they're in school, and when they graduate, unless they continue straight into academia, such as grad school or a career in academia, they probably want a job, like either launching their own company or working for someone else. Sorry. Uh, in that case, we assist with that. We can do mock interviews, resume reviews, and if our companies happen to be recruiting, we will make sure that the students are aware that, and sometimes we've done panels where we come to the school and just provide advice. And the last way we help is the curriculum aspect. We review what the university has proposed, the
Yeah.
computer science and software engineering department.
Mm-hmm.
It could be that there's a new classroom or computer lab to be built, there's new
Mm-hmm.
equipment they're planning to purchase, a new professor they're hiring, or it could be that there's a new class they're considering, or some previous class we noticed in the curriculum that probably should be made an elective instead of a required course because the skill set the students were acquired through that class are no longer relevant. So that's something the Business Advisory Council does. So overall, we're a resource for the school to
Yeah.
utilize in order to make the student experience better, so that by the time they graduate, they have they're ready to to roll. And
Wow.
yeah, and then
You would. Uh-huh.
yeah, go ahead, sorry.
No, I just wanted to say you're doing pretty cool stuff. Like
Yeah,
that is amazing.
thank
I
you.
know I use the word amazing a lot in my podcast and people will call me out for this, but I mean, what else? Okay, maybe I can use fantastic, but this is so cool.
I am a Doctor Who fan, so I will go with fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
I love that. Fantastic.
brilliant. The
Mhm.
I've been on the Business Advisory Council for almost 4 years, and I'm the current chair. I'm due to be replaced this year, so I
Wow.
look forward to getting to meet the new chair, who's most likely going to be elected in the next few months. So
Wow.
if you are a student at Auburn University, or actually any university, make sure you get to know folks in the Business Advisory Council. We love meeting students. We love finding any way we can,
Yeah.
whether it is mentoring
Hmm.
or providing guidance, coaching when it comes to big life decisions. It doesn't have to always be academic or professional. It
Hmm.
could be some students have reached out to ask questions about F1 and sponsorship into
Yeah.
H1B and so on. Those are great questions to discuss, especially when you have multiple job offers, and that could be
Hmm.
what makes or break an offer. Now, your other question was about the award. That was a recognition also by Auburn University
Yeah.
for the for service. It's pretty much a service award. The university has what is called the Lifetime Achievement Award. This
Wow.
is for people who've made significant contribution to the university, and they are typically four recipients nominated, selected each year, and that has started several years ago. About around 2011, they added a new award called the Alumni Award. It is meant for an alum of the university who is pretty much a role model and also making great impact when
Oh,
in the community, in their respective community. And the only restriction is they have to be under 40. So the award is given at the same time as the lifetime achievement. So it
mhm.
was quite amazing to be at that event because it was a fantastic gala reception, and I got to meet several folks. I call them buildings because as
Yeah.
I was meeting them, they say, "Hey, I'm so and so." I'm like, "Hold on, your name is on a building on campus." So that was
That is so
pretty,
cool.
yeah, it was pretty impressive because it inspired me both ways. Firstly, it
Mhm,
showed me that even though they graduated in the 50s and 60s, they
mhm.
still give back to the community. They still want to help out in any way they can. So that definitely inspired me to continue doing what I am. I hope when I get to that point in my life and career, as I will be like them. So there's
Ah, you will be. You're already
ex-
doing the work that actually builds you up to that step, right? I feel like that's what you're doing right now. Now, you touched on a very important point. You mentioned F1, H1B. And I know
Mhm,
this is a thing that comes about, especially for immigrants who are
mhm.
actually coming to study. And you didn't mention you're from Cameroon. And I feel like there are so many great topics that we can cover with you. But let's go step by step. And I want to ask you, what actually first made you gravitate towards technology? And then
Mhm.
after that, you can tell us how if you were an F1 student, how you navigated that.
Both great questions. How I got into technology, uh, partially because both my parents were in STEM. They were the first in their families to go beyond middle school, actually beyond high school. And particularly my mom at the time, w- women pursuing their studies was not new, but it was unusual for them to go and pursue advanced studies. In fact, my mom only has one name, which makes it a nightmare to buy her plane ticket.
Wow.
Because when she was born, people like it was kind of unusual for women to go to school. So why would you need more than one name? So she doesn't have a last name. She just has one name. No first name, no last name, just one name.
One name?
Yeah, that's it.
That is so unique. I mean, I like it. It's
It is,
unique.
but it was quite common when she was growing up because the idea was she's gonna spend the rest of her life in the village and eventually get married and have children. And so the fact that she was my grandmother was a middle school teacher. Actually, both my grandmothers were teachers, and it was inspired, motivated her to continue her studies. Like they did not try to hold her back. They did not try to tell her your role as a woman is to only be doing XYZ. They say, go for it. We want you to have the opportunities. We did not, because you never really know. Like even though at the time the idea was you probably have a spouse and have a family, but the thing is you never know what will happen to your partner. So the idea was you want to luck is when opportunity meets the prepared. So you want to make sure that you're prepared so that if an opportunity ever presents itself, you can seize it. So that's how my mom was raised. And also my great grandmother was big into giving back, like leaving things better than we found them. So she always made sure that whatever we did, we're always doing something that benefits the community overall. So having had that background, like with my dad being a civil engineer, and then my mom going into she would become an earth science teacher, that definitely most certainly inspired my siblings and as well as myself to consider going into STEM. Well, it inspired, or we didn't have a choice, depending on how you look at it. The second thing was
Wow.
one of my favorite uncles who unfortunately just passed away this past December. He went to pursue his studies and abroad, and when he came back the first summer, he brought candies and toys to all the children. And to
That
me, he
is so
said,
classic.
yeah, definitely. Except for me, he said, no, for you, no candies, no toys. I noticed you like reading, so I brought you some books. Of course, 6-year-old me was like, why the hell the candy? But then the books pretty quickly became quite fun. One book was L'Enfant Noir by Kamara Lai. The second book was Le Pont sur la rivière Kwai, the bridge on the river Kwai. And then the third book was a book had a series of fun facts about inventions. So I quickly became that annoying 6-year-old who will memorize fun facts in the book and come and quiz everyone. Did you know such and such was invented by such person or in this year and like this? And I'll do that for fun
So
until I
classic.
realized that definitely until I landed on the page that talk about the can opener, and I just froze. It said the can opener was invented more than 41 years after the can. I'm like, hold on, the math doesn't add up. For over 40 years, people kept opening cans with like a knife and a rock, for example, and no one tried to figure out, or no one came up with a better solution for that. Because the invention of cans was groundbreaking to begin with. It helped preserve food for longer than it was possible at the time. But picture how many fingers must have been injured with the previous solution. Someone came up with a better solution and pretty much made the patent available so that anyone could benefit from it. Like they were not trying to become rich. They were not saying only I can produce can openers. They said, I want the community to benefit from that. So I thought I would like to become that kind of person, someone who looks at the problem and instead of saying it's always been done this way, I will ask myself, can can I come up with a better solution? And also, how can it benefit everyone? So it's not about enriching yourself, but it's about making things better because that's how progress happens, where we build things that help the overall community. So that's what really, really made me want to become an engineer because I wanted to come up with a technology or tech skill that can benefit as many people as possible.